So, my name is Mary Louise Perrott, I'm 20 and I live in Portsmouth. I've been diagnosed with schizoaffective, which is basically, the way I describe it, it's a bit like schizophrenia with bipolar as well at the same time. You go through like episodes of having down moods and up moods, so it's like depression and mania, which is with like the bipolar. And then I also have like the schizophrenia symptoms, so I have like hallucinations, and which are mainly auditory, so I can hear them rather than see them, but sometimes I can see them, which is a bit horrible. Yeah, that's the only way I can really describe it. It's like it's basically schizophrenia with bipolar together kind of thing. How does your mental health disorder make you feel? Sad, definitely. It gets me down quite a lot. You know, it's like having a certain label on you, like it's like having it there all the time. At least it's good that you know what you've got, like you don't just know like why am I feeling like this, at least you know why. But it is a bit, it does get me down. And like, for example, like the different parts of it, so like with the like bipolar side of it, so the affective side, it's like I can go through different episodes of depression and mania. It's completely different, so I can be completely down and depressed, suicidal like one day, and then like maybe a couple of weeks later or something I can be completely up in the sky, like high as anything. It's crazy, I can't really describe it. It's like being too happy but you're not happy, you're just crazy. It feels like you're going crazy. It's the only way I could describe it really. Yeah, it makes me feel horrible, especially like at the time when you're in manic it's not too bad, but afterwards like you think about everything you've done and it's like, oh, why did I do that? And you can't really stop yourself, and it's horrible really. Next question is, how does it affect your daily life? It's not so bad now that I've got help and treatment and stuff, but looking back, like I do have bad days obviously now still, but looking back like when I was younger and stuff, it makes me feel, well, affects my daily life quite a lot. Like I wouldn't, like when I was going through depressive episodes, when I'm feeling really low, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed, I wouldn't want to do anything, so like I wouldn't feel motivated to get up, like have a shower, like daily, just normal things you take for granted. Like I couldn't get up, have a shower, get ready, do my makeup, do my hair, those kind of things. Like I can't be bothered. Like I won't go out, I won't see friends, I'll cancel seeing friends, I'll cancel seeing my boyfriend, things like that. Like I just wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't see any point in it, like doing anything. Like I'd say like, well, what's the point in me doing this anyway, because I don't want to, I don't want to be alive, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And then daily life, like when I'm manic as well, I guess, like it completely changes. It's like I do really crazy things. Like I tell you about, like I've spent ridiculous amounts of money on, like I can't even prove what I spent it on, and I've done stupid things I really regret, and it's like, why would you do that? And I guess like with the schizophrenia part of it, like that affects my daily life because I don't have the voices all the time, but when you do have them, it's like having someone in your ear constantly telling you like you're worthless or you should kill yourself or something like that. It's really horrible. So yeah, and it does, I've learned how to deal with it now, which is really good, but it does really get you down. Like it's horrible hearing that all the time. It's like having it like stuck on a record kind of thing. It's really horrible. So yeah, it does affect my daily life quite a lot, but as I said, I am better now than I was before, like before I got help and stuff. Next question is, when did you first notice your condition? How did you feel at the time? I personally didn't notice it until I was about 12 or 13. Like I realised I shouldn't really feel like this. Like I didn't think it, like up until that point I kind of thought it was normal. But other people noticed it. So for example, my parents noticed there was something not like quite right at the age of like 8 or 9, where they tried to get me to go to my doctor and talk to my doctor about it. But I wouldn't. You know, when you're that age, you don't really want to go into your doctor by yourself. It's a bit scary, really. But yeah, so I guess they noticed it 8 and 9. So how did I feel at the time? Obviously, at that time, I didn't realise anything was wrong with me. I just thought, you know, what I was feeling is how everyone felt. Especially like with the schizophrenia side of it, like all kids, like, you know, have imaginary friends when they're younger. Like, you know, it's just like a normal thing. Like, they'd sit there and talk away to their imaginary friends and stuff. So I didn't see it as any different to any of my friends who had, like, for example, like Fred, who is their imaginary friend. You know, I didn't see what I had as anything different because they talked away to their imaginary friends. Why couldn't I do it as well? So I didn't see it as bad, really. Whereas, yeah, how I felt at the time when I first noticed it myself, when I was 12 or 13, I was really, really, really low, like really low. I tried to commit suicide at that point, and that's when I realised I should probably get help because, you know, everyone obviously feels sad from time to time, but you shouldn't feel that bad like all the time. So yeah, I obviously felt awful at the time, like rubbish. Next questions. When were you first diagnosed and with what? I've been diagnosed with everything under the sun, basically. I've been diagnosed with depression, recurrent depression, depressive disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety disorder, psychosis, borderline personality disorder, everything. Absolutely everything. And who knows even if I've got schizoaffective now, you know, this is what I've just been told, really. But yeah, I was first diagnosed at the age of about 17, 18. When I finally got a doctor to listen to me for the first time, because up until that point, like going through your teenage years, I just got told it's normal, like it's normal to feel like this, it's normal to have like mood swings, but like my mood swings are so severe, like obviously going through manic episodes and depressive episodes, like no one would really take me seriously because I was a teenager, I was hormonal, so no one would listen. So yeah, at the time I was diagnosed, it was 17, 18, and I was diagnosed with everything up until from the beginning of this year. I got diagnosed with schizoaffective, so it's taken a long, long time, really, if you think about it. It's not great. Right, next one. How did your diagnosis change your life? Wow. In a way, so I'm going on basing on it on schizoaffective. It's really good, like really good, because it's like having something wrong with you and you don't know what it is, and then once you finally find out what it is, because you can like research it and you can talk to people about it and you can talk to like professionals and stuff about it, it is really, really good, because then you can, you know, start to get an idea and understanding of what is wrong with you. So in a way it changed my life for the better, because I wasn't constantly worrying like what is wrong with me, like why am I feeling like this. But at the same time it's kind of bad, because I know I shouldn't feel like it, but I felt like it was putting like a label on me. So it's like, you are schizoaffective and this is you, like Mary Louise, you are schizoaffective, and I don't want that to define me, really. Whereas I know some people do see it, that is me, like that is my definition of me. So it's quite horrible, really, but at the same time, yeah, it is really beneficial. Do family and friends understand your condition? Yes and no. Family and friends are supportive, the ones I've kept through it, like since I've been diagnosed. They're supportive, definitely, but they don't really understand. Obviously they're trying to understand as much as they can. They talk to doctors, they talk to me, talk to like other people that have gone through similar things, and they read what they can find on the internet and books and that. But you know, no one can never really understand unless they've been through it themselves. Like people can, you know, there's only so much you can get from a book or talking to someone. You can't really be there unless you've walked in their shoes. So yeah, I wouldn't say they understand, but they're supportive. But I have lost a lot of friends along the way. Like a lot of friends didn't really understand, and they assumed that just because this label on me, like it's me, like as I said, defines me, and it's not that at all. Like I'm still Mary, I'm still the same person. Just because I have this certain thing that's wrong with me doesn't mean I'm anything different. So I have lost a lot of friends, but at the same time I've realised who all my true friends are, because like, you know, you learn, don't you, I guess, like who's going to be there for you. If you're on any medication, please tell us what it is and how often you take, and how much you take and how often. Please show us the packaging if you can. I'm currently at my parents' house at the moment, so I have packaging, but I have my little pill box. I'll try to show you the packaging when I get home. I'll try and record a little bit of it. I've been on loads of different ridiculous amounts of things, but I'm currently on Prozac, fluoxetine, 40 milligrams every morning, which I'm currently being weaned off to go on something else. And I'm also on quetiapine, with a Q, of Seroquel, I think it's a brand name. I'm on 100 milligrams of that, but I think that's going back up to about 400, 600, maybe 800 again. I do that every evening, and that's the antipsychotic and also mood stabilisers, which is really good. Yeah, I'll try to get a picture of that or something when I get back. Relating on to that, explain the side effects of your medication in as much detail as you can. Well, Prozac is good. It's good for depressive moods, so when you're feeling low, it's good, and you take it and it kind of picks you up a bit, which is good. But because it's just really an antidepressant, it doesn't really help with the like bipolar side of things. So when I go really manic, like it sends me, I think it does send me a bit more manic, and when I'm taking them when I am manic, I don't feel like it's doing anything, because it's not numbing my feelings, it's kind of making them a bit more exaggerated and a bit worse, and I don't like it really, but I'm kind of glad I'm coming off of it. And quetiapine is horrible. Weight gain is like the biggest side effect, and that makes me feel absolutely horrible, because I was on it last year, well, beginning of this year. I came off of it not too long ago, probably like August time, and I came off of 800 milligrams of it, which is like the highest dose I think you can get, and I lost about 2 stone in that time, like coming off of it and between coming back on it like the last couple of weeks. So, you know, it's quite a lot, and you know, when you don't feel great about yourself anyway, and you feel a bit like paranoid and worried and self-conscious, it's not brilliant when you like put on weight, and you know, it's a bit noticeable, especially like 2 stones, quite a lot really. And like I do have a lot of friends that are quite, I wouldn't say vain, but they pick up on little things like that and makes you feel rubbish really. So yeah, that's the main side effect, but I do think the quetiapine is really good for like being an antipsychotic and a mood stabiliser as well. Like it helps balance my moods, which is good. It's not just like an antidepressant or a suppressor kind of thing, so it's good. It's got a good balance in between it, so it's not like confined as the Prozac. Next question doesn't really apply to me, so it's like, if you're not on any medication, please explain why, so skip that one. Next one's, what was your lowest point? Trying to think of one. Lowest point is probably quite a few, but like the one that stands out the most is probably what other people would say. So when I finally did go and get help for myself, so when I was 13, and I did overdose, and I failed obviously because I'm still here, but yeah, I'd say that's the lowest point in my life. I have felt like that since, but because I know I've got the support around me now, I do try and reach out before I get to that point. So I haven't been in that situation. I've tried, but I haven't really succeeded. So, you know, I guess that's kind of good in a way that I haven't got back to that. But I have felt like that quite a few times. But at the moment things are okay, so it's alright really. Next one's, looking back, has your condition had any positive impact on your life? Yeah, actually, yeah. Because I'm registered as having a disability for it, because it is really, and disability and special needs is, you know, anything you need like help for really. I get a lot of support through the uni, which is brilliant. I get like extra time on my exams and stuff because my concentration is shot to pieces, it's awful. And I get the additional support, so I get help with like my studies and that, and I get extra time on my handing in my essays and that. So that's really good, and I've got like a mentor that helps me like sit down and plan things, because I'm good at like writing essays and that, but when I put them down on paper, because my mind is so like all over the place, when I put everything down, it is literally makes no sense whatsoever. So people are there who read over it are really good, because they help me make, like, once I've read through it, like when I'm in a calmer state, I do realise it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, so that's really good. So yeah, it has had a bit of a positive impact on my life, I guess, through that, for getting the support, and people I've met, like the support groups and stuff like that, like the treatment I've received, like I've met other people who are in a similar situation, so because of that I've met them. If I hadn't of, I wouldn't have met them, and they're some of the loveliest people I know, so in a way that's good really, isn't it? So I wouldn't have met them otherwise, so I guess that's positive, but that's all I can think of really. It's not brilliant, it's not a brilliant thing to have. Next one, if you could get rid of your condition, would you? Yeah, I think I'll try and explain my reasoning a little bit. Like, because I've lived with it for so long now, and because I've finally got a diagnosis and I've come to terms with it, kind of thing, like, you know, you understand what it is, and you sit there and you can research it and you understand. Yeah, like, I've learnt to deal with it, and it's like part of my life now. It's part of who I am. Like, it makes me. Like, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be the same person that I am today. So I do, yeah. But because I've come to terms with it now, I would like to get rid of it, I think. Especially like the moods and stuff like that. Ugh, that's horrible. I'd like that out, please. But at the same time, because I've gotten so used to it, I wouldn't mind. Because now I've learned how to cope. But, like, if it didn't ever go, which I don't think it ever will, I'm not too sure. Like, I think it's going to stay. Like, I think I'll be okay, because, like, I've learned now. I've learned how to deal with it, and I've got that support around me, so I am really lucky. I know I'm one of the really lucky ones compared to some people. Like, you talk to some people who haven't had any support whatsoever, so I do count myself as really, really lucky. But I don't know, like, this, like, the whole schizophrenia side of it, like, I think, yeah, I would like to get rid of it, but because I've become so used to it, and it is part of, like, everything I do in life, and it's just in there all the time, like, you hear the voices and whatever, because I've become so used to it, I think I'd be a bit, like, lost without it. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, I don't think I'd be the same person, really, but then I don't know if I'd change for the better or worse, so there's only one way to find out, isn't there? If I get better, then we'll find out. Next one. As a young person, do you feel there is a stigma attached to having a mental health disorder, and why? Yeah, I think there is. I think, especially since we're, like, you know, doing uni and stuff, and we're going into work, and we're trying to, like, with the upcoming generation and that, I think, you know, there's all that focus on us to do, like, really well and stuff, and, like, if you do get ill, like, mentally or physically, but mentally, people, because people can't see it, because it's like an invisible illness, isn't it? Because people can't see it, then I can understand why, like, people judge you more. Because, like, for example, if you've got something obviously wrong with you, so you're in a wheelchair, people can see that you're ill and they don't judge you as much. But if you're ill from, like, work or uni all the time through something that people can't see, I think it's more difficult for them to understand, like, why. And I think that you do get that stigma attached to you because they can't see you being ill, because you might not physically show that you're ill. Like, I try and keep myself to myself if I'm feeling bad or really, like, manic. I do try and keep myself to myself. I don't really like any of my friends seeing me like that. So I think, yeah, and I think because of the stigmas, like, I think mainly in the older generations, like, we told my nan about it, and just because of the way they were brought up, and because of the way that they've seen everything, and the way that they were told to treat people with mental health disorders, I think they have more of a stigma than young people do. I think it's getting better. Yeah. Why don't people want to talk about mental health? It's because it's scary. Like, I wouldn't, like, because I think if I didn't have anything kind of wrong with me, I don't think I'd want to talk to anyone that I knew had something wrong with them. I think it's because, like, if you ask someone, like, oh, how are you doing today? You know, it's just general chit-chat and stuff, and they say, yeah, good. You don't expect them to just be like, oh, actually, I feel really suicidal and depressed, and, you know, I don't want to be here anymore. You don't expect that. And I think because of that, people are really judgmental, and they don't want to, like, breach the idea of it, really. Like, especially if you know that someone's feeling really down, maybe they don't want that dependence on them. Like, if they talk to them, they might end up, you know, saying something they don't mean to say or something like that. People just don't talk about it because it is just an invisible thing. Like, because you can't see it, people don't want to talk about it. I get that quite a lot. Like, a lot of friends and family and stuff, I do get that a lot, and I'm okay with it, but it does make me a bit sad sometimes. Yeah. Tell us one thing you wish people knew about your condition. Oh my gosh, it doesn't make me crazy. Like, just because I'm not normal as how people would describe me, like, it doesn't mean I'm gonna like kill you or something like that, because like people have judgmental things, like they see on the telly that someone with schizophrenia killed someone somewhere in the world, like, and because the media pick up on those little things like that, they're gonna think, like, they're gonna associate that with you, and it's such a horrible feeling. Like, I've lost so many friends who just don't understand, and it's like, why would you, like, it's just horrible, like, it's just horrible. Yeah, so what I wish people knew about my condition is just I'm a normal person. I managed to hold down uni, relationships, friendships, like things like that. It's my sport, like I do sport internationally. Like I managed to do all those things. It doesn't, like, I'm still a normal person. I'm still Mary. I'm no different just because I got this thing wrong with me. It doesn't make me a different person, really. What is the worst thing someone could say to a person with a mental health disorder? I think there's a few things, but I think the main thing I hate personally is I hate when people say, like, just buck up, or, you know, just get over it. Yeah, I hate when people say just get over it. That's the worst. You know, it's like you wouldn't go up to someone with cancer and just be like, oh, just get over it, because they're ill, bit ill as well. It's not just because we're feeling sad. I know people get sad, obviously, but it's not just because we're feeling sad, and it's just, you know, it's like we can get over, because you can't. When you're in that depressive mood, you're in that state of mind, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, and you're in there, and you can't get out, and you can't get out, and you can't just buck up or get better. Or when you're manic, when you're up high, you can't just, people tell you just to calm down kind of thing. You can't do that. So when people try to just tell you to snap out of it, that's probably the worst thing you can say. It's the worst thing to say. Like, the best thing you could say is probably like, you know, how are you doing? Are you okay? And it's just reassuring to know that someone cares. Like, you know, if I just get a text off of a friend who I don't speak to regularly, but just is asking if I'm okay. It's really nice, because obviously it might not mean anything to them, but it's not. It means a lot to me, because it means they're like checking up on me, and it means they're like making sure that I'm okay, and it's a lot better than just, you know, like, get over it or things like that. That's horrible, really. What is the most common misconception about people with mental health disorders? That we're not normal. That we're not normal like you, basically. Because, like, nobody's, like, what is normal? Like, nobody's normal, really, are they? Like, definitely. People just think that just because you have this label on you, or this, like, this thing hanging over you, as some people see it, they think that you just can't live a normal life, you can't do anything, but we're just the same as you. I'm sure it's like 1 in 3 people have a mental health problem. It's like, you know, that could be like someone sitting in the room with you or something like that. You don't know, do you? And you wouldn't judge someone if it was they were close to you. So that's the most common misconception. It's just rude, really, isn't it? To assume that just because someone's got this label on them, it's just horrible. Next one. Is there enough support provided for young people like you? Is there enough support provided for young people like you? Yeah, no, maybe. Yeah, at the moment, yeah, I've got a lot of support, and I've got it, but I've only just literally got it recently, like a couple of weeks ago. That's it. Whereas I've been ill for so long. I reckon if I didn't have the family and the friends I had at the time when I was younger, I wouldn't be here today, because there was no support from, like, the NHS or charities or anything for younger people. No one reached out to me, and I was trying to get that help, and no one would give me it. So yeah, but now that I've got the help, I feel a bit bad for saying that, because I am getting help, but I know that there's so many other, I know that I'm really lucky. I'm currently in a 6-week day treatment program, trying, basically, it's like group therapy, individual therapy. You talk to, like, doctors, psychiatrists. It's a bit like cognitive behavioural therapy, but in like a big group kind of thing. We go there every day during the week for 6 weeks, and everyone gets better at the end of it. Like, everyone I've talked to, everyone seems to it seems really good. But I was talking to the guy that runs it yesterday, actually, and he said that it's one of the only ones in the UK. Like, we're really lucky. Apparently the only thing that's like that somewhere in the UK is Nottingham. So from Portsmouth to Nottingham, it's quite far, really. So I feel really lucky to have got this support, but I know that there's a lot of people out there who haven't got anything, and I know that I was in that situation until recently, so I can understand that a lot of people will feel like there's nothing out there for them. I think there should be more. I think there should be more, especially for younger children, like teenagers as well. I think there should be more, definitely. Next one. Living with your condition, what are the normal things you feel you miss out on? Like parties, relationships, work, education. I don't really know. Like, yeah, parties for me. I don't really have so much of a social life. Like, when I do feel low and stuff, I won't go out and talk to friends and stuff. And because of that, I don't really get invited out as much. Because, you know, once you turn something down for so long, people kind of stop bothering, don't they? So, that's horrible. But, yeah, I'm not too sure really. Like, I've got a good, like, I'm at uni here. It's really good. I do miss quite a lot of uni through my illness though, which is, you know, not brilliant. But yeah, I can't really think of anything that I missed out on. I think it's just trying to maintain those social friendships, because the friends that do understand obviously will always have your back and they will look after you and they will look out for you. But the ones that you kind of like meet at uni, for example, and they want to invite you out and then you can't because you can't, you're anxious or you're paranoid or something, you don't want to go, you know, they don't really understand why, and you kind of lose a lot of friends and social life through that. So I'd say like social life and partying and that and stuff, especially at uni. Like everyone wants to go out and enjoy the uni life, don't they? So yeah. Next one. What does it mean to be normal? No one's normal, are they? I don't think anyone's normal. I don't know. I don't think anyone's normal. Everyone's got something that's a bit weird about them. If people say I'm weird, it's like, well, look at you. Surely you're a horrible person for judging me like that, really? I don't think anyone's normal. I think normal people are boring, really. It's got to be really boring to live a normal life, hasn't it? Please complete the following sentence. The thing that's helped me most so far is my boyfriend and my family. Definitely this year as well. I've had a really bad year and I still don't really want to be alive now, like thinking about it. I don't want to be. I know that I'm lucky and I've got family and friends around me and stuff, and I should be really grateful, and I am really grateful, but I just don't want it really. But if it wasn't for my family and my boyfriend this year, I don't think I'd be here now. I don't think I'd be recording this. I don't think I'd be talking to you. They've been great. They've been massive support, and it's lovely, really. Like having someone there, like all the time. Like my boyfriend's like, he's living with me at the moment, and if he wasn't living with me, then my parents will be there. So it's nice to have people there all the time that actually really care about you, and it's so lovely, and I'm so grateful to them. The final question I've got on here. What are your biggest hopes and fears for the future? My biggest dream, maybe a bit corny or anything, but I really want to like set up a charity or set up an organisation that helps children, like younger people, so people, teenagers, age under 18, helps them, people like that age with mental health disorders, it helps them, something to help them. Because I don't feel like I got enough support between the ages of like 12 to 18. I don't feel like there's anything for me because I was labelled as a teenager and I was hormonal and moody and mood swings, everything like that. So I just really wish that that's what I really hope. I really hope to set something up so someone, the kids can go there for safe, someone that they can talk to who understands what they've been through, someone that won't judge them for going just because they're a teenager. Like, everyone must get depressed at some point in their life. Like, you've got to really, like, you do get really sad, and it's horrible for kids, especially when they're young and they don't have that support around them, and I just love to help them. And my hopes as well, like, I want to get better. I want to feel better within myself. Like, I know I am physically getting better, like, I'm getting the help, I'm getting medication, stuff like that, I'm getting the support, but like, I actually want to feel it inside myself. Like, I want to feel like happy, but not like manic happy. I want to feel like normal happy. I don't know what it really feels like to be normal. I don't know if there is a normal kind of happy, but I don't want to feel like sad all the time. I don't want these voices in my head, like once I finally feel okay, there's just something there inside me. It's horrible. So I just want that, really. And then my biggest fear is, I don't know. My biggest fear is that I won't make it. But then it's not really a fear. I'm not too scared. It sounds really bad. My biggest fear is if I do anything stupid and I really upset my family and my friends and my boyfriend. That's what my biggest fear is. My biggest fear is that I'll get into a point where I'm so low and I can't stop myself, and I really hurt the people around me, because I've seen the impact of suicide and it's horrible, and like I see what it does to people, and I'm really scared that will happen. I don't want that to happen at all, really, to the people I love. And fears as well is that, like, stigma around mental health will get worse, I guess. Like, at the moment I feel like it's getting a lot better. I feel that people are more open and more honest and will talk about things if you want to talk about them. But I'm scared that people will take everything the wrong way, and it will end up, you know, like back like it used to be, like where it was something people didn't talk about because it was just things surrounding it and that no one would talk about. So yeah, those are my biggest fears and hopes. And I hope to, yeah, be happy, be successful, help people, get married, have a kid, have an amazing life, treat them to everything, you know, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope that's alright. Thanks guys.